Hello, Big Yumbo here. Today I'm just going to show you stuff that I got on my trip to Arizona over the weekend. We only went to 5 or 6 thrift stores, but we got a ton of stuff. I have multiple of these bags, just because the thrift stores in Arizona are great, basically. I'll start off with one of my favorites, because I love the old Hawaiian shirts. I believe this is it's at least 60s, but it's, in my opinion, more of like a 50s style tag. It's a lube collar. Unfortunately, we're dealing with a cotton shirt here. Excuse me. I have never found a true vintage rayon Hawaiian shirt, which is a grail of mine. I've even found like 50s Kamehameha, which is kind of a vintage Hawaiian grail brand, but I've never found a rayon one, which sucks. I'll probably keep that shirt, even though it is missing one button, but I'm probably going to keep it. Huge size too, which is good for the true vintage stuff. A Lululemon Airing Easy shirt, and all the thrift stores are 20% off. There's a coupon online, you look it up, you scan it every time you go to a thrift. 20% off everything, every day, every month, if you have that coupon. So that shirt is like $3. Paid up a little bit on this one, even with the coupon. 20% off $11.99. It's a Rourke Revival shirt. I forgot the exact style on this one, but the sell-through rate is great and the prices are great, like 35 to 50 bucks. It's kind of a Southwestern style print with little elbow patches. Now, I'm actually not out of breath, but with this microphone, sometimes it does sound like I am out of breath. But you know, if you put your ear up to anyone's mouth, it's gonna sound like they're out of breath. We got a Viore shirt, just a kind of cotton blend polo, nothing great. That's the only way I could tell it was Viore. And it was 20% off of like $6. Great condition. It'll sell quick for like 25 bucks probably. Girlfriend found me this one, woo. I didn't look it up. It was cheap enough and it's a good enough brand that we don't really need to look it up. It's a triple lot design. It's a Henley shirt. It's probably a women's. It's a small, so it could be a men's, but it feels kind of short for these type of guys that wear this. Don't really wear like cropped boxy stuff, so it's probably a women's. Might not be the best item from them. Maybe 20 bucks. I don't know. We got just a blank tee for 20% off of $1, but I like the color of it, and it's an older Hanes tag. I think 70s. Can you guys see that? I can't tell if you can see that or not. That's the tag. Nothing crazy. Size medium probably fits like a small. I think it's dead stock. Probably not worth much, but I grab all the stuff that's older. Now this brand used to be pretty good. It was cheap enough that I took a chance on it. 20% off for $4. It's Outdoor Voices. I had a little trouble figuring out the style on this one. It looked like a couple of them sold for like 30 bucks. So we took a chance on it. I don't know if the sell-through rate's going to be any good. Probably not, because this brand, it's not that hyped anymore, at least in the reselling world. We have a Faraday shirt. I pass on a lot of Faraday shirts, but you know, this one had kind of a almost like a chambray. It's like a fake chambray. It's super stretchy. It's probably a $25 shirt, but there are certain Faraday shirts like the polo shirts. I think it's called like just the soft cotton polo. Those ones absolutely suck. This one's a little more substantial at least. I don't know. We'll look up the style code. They all have a style code on them, so that's helpful. Here's a brand I have not found in a long, long time. Sunspell. You see that? It's probably a $50 pair of pants. $50 pair of pants. Probably over 100% sell-through rate on Sunspell pants. Didn't look it up. Last time I sold like a blank t-shirt for $40 from this brand. It's high-end stuff, and it was pretty darn affordable. I'd never find this brand though. Got these just basically based on the style. They're Polo Ralph Lauren, but pretty rare to see a pair of cotton chinos. I think I found like performance golf pants that were plaid like this. Is this tartan plaid? I can't ever remember the plaid names, but yeah, these are probably a $25 to $30 pair of pants for a totally reasonable price. Is that, there we go. These are easy to spot. They have this very specific feeling to them. Can you guess what they are? They're the EB66 Peter Millar pants. Very specific texture to the fabric on these. And they're, you can also tell, like if you have to pay up on some Peter Millar pants, just double check that they say EB66 somewhere on the style code. And they will probably be worth grabbing. Super reasonable price on that, pretty cheap compared to Las Vegas. I'm considering just driving out to Arizona every week. We've got some, what are these? Oh, these are the OG 507s, not the OG 107s, so not quite as good. But I do sell these for like 40 bucks. They're 70s military pants. They also call them Baker pants. They've got these pockets on the back that are pretty identifiable. The color is pretty identifiable. The price is pretty reasonable. 20% off of $6.50. Crazy. They did have some of the jeans marked up though. This isn't, I mean, this is cheaper than Vegas. All the jeans in Vegas are at least 13 bucks unless there's something wrong with them. Just some Naked and Famous jeans. These don't all do well. If they're selvage, they're totally worth paying 10 bucks for though. 20% off of 10. I'm gonna stop saying 20% off now because everything was 20% off. So you get the idea. They're like $40, $50 jeans usually. This one I didn't look up, probably should have, because every time I look up Travis Matthew, it sucks. Look at that price, 20% off of that. I said it again. I think I've sold this hoodie before though. And I've sold the pants. I think it's like called the Cloud hoodie or something. It's super soft, super stretchy. I don't know if it's good now. This used to be good. Let's just say that. It's in a pretty big size. Let's see, 2XL. It's like perfect condition. So, I mean, for that price, you can kind of take a couple chances. Now, all of the Levi's and Wranglers, dude, Wranglers are 20 bucks there, just modern Wranglers. Crazy. These were 20% off of 20 bucks. But they're vintage 517s. Pretty sure they're women's because they don't have the waist size here. Usually that's a sign that they're women's. They don't have a tag on the interior. But they are vintage. I can just tell by that they are. They're probably late 90s, early 2000s. And they'll probably sell for about 40 bucks because they are pretty flared leg on these ones actually too. But the boot cut's really good. Oh, our neighbors have an exterminator outside. Hello, sir. Taylor Stitch. Super good price. I don't know how their shorts do. I'm sure they do just fine. It's a pretty great brand still. It's kind of like fancy, casual rich dude stuff. Okay, what do we got here? Here's a cool one. It's going to be 8 bucks on that. It's a vintage Wrangler corduroy Sherpa lined vest. I can't really tell this. It looks kind of small. It's about 19.5 pit to pit, so it's gonna be a men's small, maybe a women's medium. But it's a good style. I might list it as a women's, just see what happens. The buttons are on the men's side though. But Wrangler women's stuff, like their vintage jeans do, for me, they almost do better than the men's. So we'll see. This was just a nice, super heavyweight Carhartt flannel for 20% off of that. Only reason I grabbed it. I don't grab a lot of the modern Carhartt stuff, but it's kind of a chamois material. Super heavyweight. It's probably worth 20-25 bucks. We'll see. We got some, and this is just me not even thrifting. I'm still in the first bag of stuff. Like, we went to barely any stores. In a pretty like country, not very developed part of Arizona. What are these? Oh, Loudmouth, duh. Yeah, Loudmouth shorts, that's how you can tell. They've got like the frickin' Declaration of Independence or the Constitution or some shit on them. Probably a $30 pair of shorts for 20% off of that. Excuse me. Just a Super Bowl shirt from what, 93? It's vintage, not the best. Those are among the most common vintage shirts to find. We got a Panhandle Slim. Vintage, probably made in USA. There was more there that I didn't grab. I just grabbed all the ones with kind of loud colors. Sorry I keep burping. We've got a Trey Bark. I kind of like this shirt. It's a little too trendy for me to wear though. It's just a single stitch, probably 80s, 90s. I'm gonna put it to the side because the fit of it is kind of perfect. It's kind of wide and short. And I'm kind of wide and short, so. This one was sort of a gamble. Well, I mean, the price was pretty great. The brand is Dionyse. That's what your logo looks there. There's a giant logo on the back as well. It's just kind of like a high-vis motorcycle vest. And this brand, I've sold their jeans for a lot. I've sold jackets for a good amount. It's a decent brand for like street bike type apparel. So for that price, I took a chance. I did try to look it up. Nothing really. There's like a couple listed, a couple sold for various prices. I think it's at least like a $35 vest. No bowl. Didn't look this up. This stuff used to be pretty darn good. That's it. This shirt would be $9 where I live, and it was 20% off $5. It's just, I always say like don't buy stuff just because it's cheap, but that's easier said than done because there is no cheap stuff in Las Vegas, so I can easily just not buy stuff. But no bull. I think this brand is still good. I don't know how good a long sleeve t-shirt is going to be. It's super soft and stretchy though, at least. No bull. I know that the shoes got pretty blown up because I looked up a pair of their shoes recently and they're not as good as they used to be. So I don't know. This you could just tell is Vuori just based on the little scrap of tag that's left there. Price is awesome. And then you can look inside. Oh, there's also they put little frickin' whatever, like little catchphrases on stuff. It's pretty stupid. Move and be moved. Where it's got to say Vuori. Okay, here we go. Yep. I've sold this exact shirt multiple times. It's like a $25 shirt. In my opinion. Here's another one of those Panhandle Slim shirts. This one actually does say made in USA. It's got kind of an interesting pattern, so I grabbed it. There, like I said, there was ones that were just plain that I didn't grab. This was the most interesting pattern, made in USA Panhandle Slim. I don't even really know what you'd call this one. It's not quite Aztec. Is that Navajo? Very cool, in my opinion. I could probably stand a little further away from the camera, couldn't I? We've got some Y2 Crazy. It's probably a $25, $30 sweatshirt. Paid $8 for it. Super heavyweight. It's probably all cotton. 80% cotton. Close enough. Still the first bag of stuff here. Another pair of Peter Millar EB66 pants. This one had a couple loose stitches on the back pocket. That's something I always check for on these because it's pretty common. As long as they're not on the crotch, then I'll still pay for them. Paid around $9 for those. Probably sell for about 30, something like that. Some cool pants. They were cheap, so I didn't look up the style. If you got to pay like $10 for them, then you definitely got to look up the style because some of them kind of suck. And I'm saying that, and I know there is a pair in here that I did pay up on and didn't look up the style. Some Tecovas jeans. Another good one for a reasonable price. I haven't sold their jeans in a while, but I'm selling their shirts for like $25, $30. So jeans probably go for like 40, I don't know. I grabbed this one at the flea market. They had a pretty cool little flea market there. There was only like 15 vendors because it was cold and windy, and I went late on a Sunday. They said this particular flea market, I forget what it's called, can be really good on Saturdays when the weather's nice. Paid $5 for this. Just a vintage Y2K Disneyland Pirates of the Caribbean shirt. There's one comp for like $40 on this. I looked it up after I bought it. Needs a wash. And then this, we got a Flyers jacket, another flea market find. I paid $20 for this, which is a steal. This is probably a $100 jacket. Size large, which is good. Smells like the flea market. Ooh, it's from '95, so it is a vintage one. We can put vintage. It doesn't really need to be, though. It doesn't increase the price. Nothing that cool happened in '95. There's one patch on it. But yeah, those are worth paying $20 for sure. I'll pay $50 for them. Next bag. We got some crazy shorts, crazy shirts, Hawaii pants. I sell these for like 25 to $30. They still sell great, and it's been 5 years that I've been selling them. The shorts are also great. The Made in USA ones are the best, but Pendleton shirt, wool. I don't think I saw any holes. It's probably like a $30, $35 shirt with no holes. With holes, it's probably a $25 shirt because it's not the board shirt. The board shirt's the best. Oh, and then we went to this one thrift store. It was flat rate pricing, and all the shirts were $4. And then half off, it happened to be half off day, so all the shirts were $2. So I bought stuff I typically wouldn't really buy, but for $2, it was just like, oh my God. My cost of goods is $9, so that's like a quarter of my cost of goods, my average cost of goods. So whatever, we grabbed a Tory Richards shirt. It's kind of got a cool surfboard pattern, probably a $15 to $20 shirt. Might take a while, but it is that season. Another $2 shirt. We got a Bad Birdie. These don't sell amazing for me anymore, kind of like 20, 25 bucks, but $2 is pretty cool. What else we got for $2? That's not a $2-bucker. There was just all these random old shirts, kind of like a 70s camp, probably poly blend. Almost has like a dagger collar on it. Just some true vintage stuff to list for 25 bucks. That random stuff like that does sell. You can also tell like these super flat, I don't know if you can tell, is it focusing? These super flat buttons. Something you see a lot on like late 60s, early 70s stuff. So this is probably like a mid 70s shirt. It does have a nice straight hem. That's always something I look for on these type of shirts. Not like a curvy hem, just a straight hem. I think that helps, in my opinion. Got another one of those. This one does have a curved hem though. It's a, I think 70s Van Heusen. Kind of a cool cut to it. And a kind of a cool like contrast stitching on this like lime green shirt. I don't know. It's like a $20 shirt, tops. It's got those old buttons. Really not buying that kind of crap unless it's $2. Another $2 guy. I don't love this brand of Western shirt. What is this, like 80s? Could be 70s, I don't know. It's just a pearl snap. Miller from Denver. Probably a $15 shirt, something like that. Oh, we got an old Levi's for $2. I think that's an 80s tag. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a 70s tag. Is there a care instructions? Oh, it could be older. No care label. And it doesn't look like one was ripped off. Let me know. Is there any true vintage homies out there? When's that tag from? I think it's like a late 70s, early 80s tag. Based on other things that I've had that tag with care instructions. What do we got for another $2? Ariat Pro shirt. I would pretty much never grab this unless it was $2. The Ariat shirts kind of suck unless they're FR, in my opinion. There was a couple of these. I think these are Panhandle Slims that wore out, because if you look at one of my earlier shirts, rewind to it, I've got a couple made in USA Panhandle Slims that pretty much look identical to that with the tag, but they have the shit on there. Maybe it faded off. I don't know. This one's a pretty cool pattern to it. It's a nice little button-up Western shirt. We'll call it true vintage, whatever. Probably like an 80s shirt though, to be honest. Another $2 guy. Robert Graham, like stretchy golf shirt. I probably wouldn't even look this up in the regular thrift. A lot of people do buy Robert Graham and swear it's great, but I've just never had great luck with it, to be honest. And I've never found one of those, like, what do they call it? Limited edition ones. Another $2 guy. Tommy Bahama Island Zone, like a stretchy golf polo. These can be good during the summer. Their Island Zone stuff can be pretty good, especially bigger size stuff. Another $2 guy, Ariat Pro. Ariat is super expensive in Arizona. It's one of the brands, like Levi's, Wrangler, Ariat, the Western style stuff. So like that shirt would have been like $15 in one of the regular thrifts. The jeans were marked at $6 there. Jeans and pants were $6 and they were half off. So we got Mugsies for $3. That would never happen to me in Las Vegas. Those are probably $30 pants. We got more Mugsy jeans for $3. Crazy. Super long inseam, which is going to be good. More Mugsies. I mean, I didn't look up the style. These ones are called Scouts. The other ones are called like Grands. Then there's Hides. You do got to look up the style with these. They're all different prices and different, you know, sell-through rates. But in general, I just grab Mugsy and it sells pretty darn quick. Another pair of Mugsies for $3. Like, I don't know, man. It was just too easy there. What do we got? This is from the thrift store. See, here's a Panhandle Slim. I think that other shirt was a Panhandle Slim. I think it was on this tag too, where this probably wore off. You see the yellow stitching on the side of the blue tag? So yeah. 20% off on the $9 Panhandle Slim made in USA. Not a great one. Probably 20, maybe $25 shirt. We have the tag is ripped on this one, but I could tell it was a retro rifle shirt. That brand is great. This is probably a $35 shirt. 20% off of whatever that says. Retro rifle, awesome. Girlfriend discovered that brand for me. All right, the last final bag here. Okay, what's going on here? We got some stuff on the ground, I guess. Now, these have a shitty sell-through rate. Guess which brand this is. You know which brand this is. It's Pendleton, right? They're the skirts. You see them all the time. You leave them. But this one had like so many of these ruffles. And I was scrolling through the comps. And a lot of them have like, what do you call these? Ruffles, pleats. The ones with the most ruffles or pleats seem to be selling for the most money. So, and I took a chance on it. But I think if I wait 6 months, it could be a $40 skirt. Who knows? This is pretty mid, but it's a kind of a cool jacket. It's kind of like Carolina Panthers colors. I like the ribbing on the, matching ribbing on the sleeves and the waistband. It's just a Russell Athletic jacket. Half zip. Made in USA 90s. Yeah, I just thought it was cool. It's probably not worth much, but it is a cool jacket. I almost might want to try it on. We'll see. It's not really my aesthetic. Got some Levi's, some vintage double X's. 20% off of 14 or whatever. No tag on the interior. I don't think these ones are made in USA, but that 100% is a late 90s Y2K Jackron patch. If you're a Levi's guy, you just know, you see that, boom. And it's a double X, so they're probably at least a $40 pair of jeans with this beautiful fading and distressing. If they said made in USA on the patch, they'd be a $65 pair of jeans. We went to a antique store. We went to a couple. This was the only one I actually bought anything at. Girlfriend grabbed this one. It's a campus. It's like Orlon or whatever. So it's like fake wool. It's like acrylic, but it's just a beautiful pattern on this cardigan. It's gonna be 60s with the Orlon. It's an easy way to tell. But let me put this on a hanger real quick. I'm just gonna stand here for a second because I just want to get a better look at it. I loved it. And then the people in the store were like, oh, it looks like a Brady Bunch sweater. Like, no, it's not the Brady Bunch. It's super cool. Stop calling it Brady Bunch. In my opinion, this is super cool. This is a closet guy for me. I put it in my closet. And then this was like 25, 26, 28 bucks, something like that. And these were 35 bucks. But they're a pair of 80s 501s. Pretty cool. Fading on them. 501s. Let me know they're 80s because of this little guy. I think they're 83. 83. An antique store on vacation. I wouldn't have bought this stuff in the thrift for this price here. But on vacation, it's kind of like a souvenir. So I could sell these for probably 60 bucks. And then that'll pay for the combo of the sweater and this. And then I can keep the sweater. It's like I can get the sweater for free. So it's like a free souvenir. Do you understand? That's kind of a vacation type purchase. Wouldn't do that here. I may pay 30 for some 80s 501s though. Not 35 is like on the edge. Girlfriend found this one. It's a cool Scully. 20% off of that. So kind of a crazy price. But I sold a women's Scully for like 40, 50 bucks recently. That wasn't this cool. So this one's probably more like a $60 guy with the skulls and everything. You know, you keyword it up. Rockabilly, Western, cowboy, rodeo, whatever. We got an Ed Hardy polo. Y2 Crazy. Y2 Crazy price, 20% off of $4. I don't know what that'll go for. It's made in USA. So it is a vintage one, right? We got some J. Crew linen pants. Really start picking up my linen pants purchasing during the late winter. I haven't found too many of them recently. I usually just stick to the brands like J. Crew, the nicer like mall brands. Like I'll buy some Tommy Bahama linen pants. We got some Y2K Quicksilver cargo pants. Kind of a small size, probably like a 28. But you can just tell they're Y2K, it's super cheap. Pretty good. Probably sell for 25 bucks. Pretty quick. A Made in USA LL Bean vest. I quite like this one. Girlfriend found this one. Vintage Made in USA. I like the logo. It's like different than it usually is with the it's got kind of like contrast piping on it. 8 bucks. Crazy windstorm outside right now. Crazy windstorm. Oh, this shirt stunk. It's just a military perm press shirt, probably from the 70s. Like OG 507 thing. Stuff for like 20 bucks. It was cheap. Some Lulu shorts. Don't remember which ones these are. Are they maybe the Surge shorts? No, I think the Surge short has a pocket in the back. Solid price though. I'll look up the style when I list them. Oh. What are we out in the vid? How many minutes? $31. My aunt found these. She went to the thrift store with us, and I was like, oh, those don't do great. But it's one of those things where, like, you know, you go with someone who's not like a big, they're not a reseller. So like, she's like, these are $150 yoga pants. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but they'll sell for like 20 bucks. But they were cheap. I should have just been nice and been like, great find, auntie. This is one of those things, you know. I'm an asshole, so it's hard to just be like, not just be like brutally honest sometimes. I should have just been like, great find, nice. But I did buy them. I was like, yeah, I'll get them. Some Patagonia pants for whatever, 20% off of 11. I don't know what these are going to be. Some of them are good, some of them aren't good. Some of them are shockingly good, actually, for the Patagucci's. These are the cool pants I paid up for. I was just excited. It was one of our first thrift stores, and I had a huge cart full of stuff, so I was like, oh, these are probably $40 pants. I'll pay whatever, 20% off. These are the good ones, though. In my opinion, they're the good ones. I don't know if they sell as the good ones. I like these ones that are like super heavy, kind of not as skinny as a lot of the cool pants. I like these ones. The vintage patina dye, like heavy cotton ones. A Nike crew neck. It's modern, but it's a center check. It's probably like a $20 shirt thing. Sweatshirt. Some Lululemon chinos. These are either going to be what, the commission or the ABC. Still can't remember. It's been, you know, 6 years of selling them, and I can't remember the details. And I don't really care to remember. I really hate selling these. They're the most returned item in my store of all time. But they still sell for 35 bucks easy. So it's like, you kind of got to get them. This one I didn't look up. I should have, but a lot of this, if I find a 100% cotton rugby polo from like actual rugby team or tournament, I pretty much always just buy it. This one is technically vintage. It's from the 2003 Rugby World Cup. I don't know, roast me in the comments. Is this worth paying $8 for? Who knows? I mean, I could have easily just looked it up. But based on my past experience, I figured, let's just go for it. We're on vacation. Why not? Okay, that's everything I got in Arizona. I've got other things lying around here. Things hanging up decoratively. This is the coolest shirt I've ever acquired. I have some other stuff from the thrift. This thing I thought was cool, but it's probably not valuable. It's old. It's probably from the 60s. It's like a leather cardigan. Like, you can see the jackets sometimes that are leather on the front and then they'll be knit on the back. This one's actually leather on the back as well, too. And I was thinking 60s basically because of that tag. And then this guy, I think it says like made in California. Definitely at least 60s. Glace, glove, Los Angeles. You just don't find too much true on the racks here, so I had to grab it. I think it's cool. Just came out of the laundry. I think it's from 1998. It's huge. Not that cool in my opinion. There's one sold comp for $40 on that. In that size, which is why I grabbed it. We've got, this is honestly probably a better item. This Nike Y2K jacket with the cool like lime green and gray piping. Are we going to call it shuttle tape? Everyone's saying shuttle tape nowadays. I don't really know. Gray tag. It's probably a $30 jacket. I quite like it. If I had the pants that went with it, those would be probably excellent. The Nike track pants are crazy good right now. A Los Angeles Kings. Is this a starter? I think that's 90s. Or is it 80s? Any sports guy, collector, vintage dudes, tell me if that's 80s or 90s. It's kind of a rudimentary looking tag. But yeah, it's a cool jacket. If this was Raiders, that would be sick. But it's LA Raiders. This is LA Kings. Still cool. Raiders colors. We got a Polo Sport sweater. Polo Sport. fleece, vintage. Made in the USA. 90s. Probably sell for like 40 bucks. Another Pendleton. Made in Mexico with USA shit. Just one of the regular flannels, not a board shirt. You know, 25, 35. This I got, that's all thrift store stuff. This I got at a garage sale. It was, I think, $1. I'm not a big garage sale guy because they always suck. But there was a bag of military stuff, so I grabbed this one. It's a, it's from this one brand. You see this brand all the time for like kind of a khaki shirts. And it is old, and they do make official stuff for the military, but it's not desirable usually. This Creighton. This is jacket windbreaker, and the guy was in the Navy, so this is a Navy windbreaker. It does have a chin strap, so we'll be throwing chin strap in the title. Crop, boxy fit, chin strap 70s, and it is 70s because the other military stuff he had was all dated 70s. I got some of those like wool Cracker Jack pants. Those sell all right. Here's some stuff I got from Whatnot. When I'm bored, I just scroll on there. You got to look for people with just kind of low viewers who look trustworthy. This kid looked really trustworthy, so I was comfortable spending some money with him. I paid $70 for all this, plus I think $10 shipping. So you got to buy something. You got to find something cheap. Knock out that first shipping. Like, he lost money on the shipping. I feel bad for him. But and he said that before I even bought anything. And I was like, oh, this guy loses money on shipping. We got some rock revivals. And it is kind of a risk on Whatnot because a lot of these people are complete morons. This kid was super nice. And I looked up his Instagram afterwards, and he's like damn near famous for vintage stuff on Instagram. But he looked like a complete rookie noob on Whatnot. But super nice kid, super trustworthy looking. That's why I spent some money with him. Got those. Got some Trulies. These ones have the thicker stitch, so they're going to be like big T or mega T or super T. The T, these ones are super T. The T makes them more desirable. If they're the thin, super thin stitching, they're not very good. But if they are super T or bigger, it refers to the thickness of the stitching for the butt and the like down the side. You want like super T or bigger. That makes them better. I learned that from a friend. These ones are probably like a mega T because look at that stitching. I don't like these light wash ones. They're not going to do as good as a dark wash, but these ones are mega T. And they do have like an orange on the butt. So the first picture will probably just be like this. Boom. So 2 Trulies, 2 Rock Revivals. Honestly, I like Rock Revival better. I think they are a more high quality jean. If you're going to wear this type of jean, I would go with the Rock Revivals. So basically paid 20 bucks a piece for each of those, and all 4 of them sell for over $50 for sure. And then just bought some like for like a couple bucks each. Like a True Religion shirt, it's new with tags. It's probably like a $15 shirt tops. But it's new with tags. It was originally $79. The guy had a bunch of this stuff. And that's the kind of thing I look for, like someone who he said he got a storage unit, and he's just trying to like get rid of the stuff, you know? And then what, an Affliction shirt? I don't like red, so it's probably like a $15 shirt. Yeah, so that's everything I got from that kid on Whatnot for 80 bucks. What do you think? Leave it in the comments. Was it a good deal? Kid was super nice. But there's people on Whatnot that are like literally wearing ski masks while they're trying to sell stuff to strangers online. Like a shiesty. It's like, dude, you want to be trustworthy. These people don't know who you are. Like, you're going to wear a ski mask? Just some Rock Revivals. They're hang drying. That's why they're on a hanger. These ones, bought them off someone who thrifted them. But they had these huge holes in them. Which he did not disclose to me when I purchased them. He sent me this picture. But, bought them anyway. And I fixed these myself. Look at this. With my sewing machine. Now this one I think looks good because I did some like ziggy-zaggies to make it look more intentional. This one I did before that one and it doesn't look quite as good. I should probably go back and do some ziggy-zaggies. This one has a stain next to it, which I don't like. This one looks decent too though. Then I also repaired, there was big holes in the heels, repaired those. Look at me. Okay, what do we got? We have some Polo Ralph Lauren, corduroy pants, but these ones are particularly cool because they're like a boot cut flare. Like they're pretty flared. They kind of taper in and then they flare out. And they're men's. Very strange. Never seen that on a pair of corduroy Polo Ralph Lauren pants. So I'll probably price those higher. Anything else out here? No. This I probably showed you before. I just hung some decorations on the walls. It's a Pataloha vintage Hong Kong rayon Hawaiian shirt. Super cool. Paid like $25 for that. It's like a $100 shirt though, in my opinion. What else we got? This I got from, these two shirts I got from Paul Cantu. You know, famous YouTuber, vintage guy Paul Cantu. He always has, I like Paul Cantu because he prices things super affordably on his website. These were $30 a piece. And this is probably the coolest shirt I've ever seen in my life. I think it's like a late 60s Hilton. It's cotton. And it's got this kind of stretchy ribbing on the armpits. It says either dank, dark, or dork on the front. I think it says dank or Daryl. Daryl? Could say Daryl. But I think it says dank. And it says Luna there, which is also another cool name. And then it's military themed, right? USAF, Civil Engineering Squadron. Super cool. It fits me, but old Dusty Hat said, I sent a picture of it and he said, stolen valor when I was wearing it. And I was like, it's statute of limitations because it's too old. I can wear this now. And he said, oh, not military stolen valor, bowling stolen valor. He's a funny guy. And then I got this one. This one's also cool. Another dank on the, that looks like a 70s tag. Nast. The Wrecking Crew, Bowling Air Force Base in Washington, D.C. So, and I paid $30 for these. These are, in my opinion, $100 shirts. Easy. Because they're true vintage and military themed. And they're like cropped, boxy shirts, which is aesthetically popular right now. This one's the coolest though, for sure. I think it honestly looks pretty sick on me too. And look at that tag. So probably not selling this. Also got like a vintage military tanker jacket from him, which I already sold for $60. So that paid for itself plus one of these shirts, which is how I kind of factored it all out in my mind so that it would be. So basically I paid $30 for whatever. You get the idea. You know, you buy one or two things that you're going to sell and the other things you're going to keep if it's for the personal. But that shirt is really cool. What do you think about that shirt? Leave it in the comments below. Thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Big Yumbo. If you want to purchase anything from this, don't buy it on my eBay because I don't like people, you know, accusing me of, oh, the only reason you get sales is because you got YouTube. No, nobody really buys my stuff. But if you do want to buy anything, just hit me up on Instagram and we can work out a little deal. Because then we don't got to deal with the fees. And I only take Zelle. Thank you. But you can't buy that shirt. All right, I also bought this chest, which I don't really have space for this in my house, but I seen it in the thrift store. They wanted $120 for it. I got them down to $100 at least. But look at the inside of it. Look how clean the wood is. And then I seen this in there. And I was like, dang, this chest is probably from the 60s. And then I seen this guy here. Because at first I thought, is this like some sort of repro old thing? The brand is Cavalier. Because it looks so nice. And yeah, basically I just had to have it. I went to the store and there was another store next door. I went into that store and I was still thinking about this thing. So we went back and we bought it. It does have a little thing here. I'm thinking about just sanding the whole thing down. Because I don't really like this finish shit that's on it. Oh, shit. It auto locks, I guess, when you close it, which they had to recall these like in the 80s because kids would get trapped inside and die. But yeah, I want the outside to maybe look more like the inside. Look at the wood. Pretty cool. I don't really know what to do with it. I was like, oh, I could put my pants in there. And a girlfriend was like, no, we could put blankets in there and that's it. She said I could put my collection of clothes in there as well. But look at the silhouette of this thing. That's why I like it right there. I kind of wish it was a regular dresser though with drawers, but it's a chest. I've never bought a piece of furniture before. What do you think? There's one's listed for like $700 online. I don't know if they ever get that, but it's made out of cedar. There's like a little thing here. I don't know. It's in really good condition despite that one scuff. And I like that this paper's on there. I'm going to leave that on there. So what do you think? Was $100 a good deal? This is my first piece of furniture that I've ever had to buy because I liked it. This thing's also like removable. But I could put my little knickknacks in there. My little doodads. Yeah, now I kind of want to find, after I bought this, I want to find like a coffee table. And I like how like this kind of, it's kind of funky, you know? I want to get a coffee table from the 60s. And I don't know if this is from the 60s, but that thing, it says 66. So it's probably prior to that they bought this. So, I don't know. What do you think? Okay.